All right, 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM listeners, you already know what time it is, and right here, right now, we actually got the one and only West Coast phenomenon, hip hop veteran. You already know what time it is. We got Sneek Rothstein right here, live on the line, man. How are you doing this evening?
Man, I'm doing real good. I'm blessed. You know what I mean? I'm finally, got a classic album out there and a great body of work, and I'm finally getting the right attention. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm here with y'all, man. So, man, it's a blessing, man. The West Coast is finally taking notice. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, the love is real.
And also, man, we most definitely are going to get to this most phenomenal release here momentarily, man. But I want to take you back to the beginning of your iconic career this far, man. I have to ask, what actually made you decide to get into the music industry initially, man? Because your roots run so deep.
You know, just the inspiration, man, of watching those before me do it so effortlessly and just so eloquently, man. It just rubs off on me, you know, to want to express myself and leave a mark, you know, because hip hop is art. Hip hop is expression, man. You know, hip hop is a way out for a lot of people, man. It's a vehicle for success for those that use it the right way. So I had to get in that car, man. I couldn't let the car pass me by. You know what I'm saying?
And also, as well, man, I gotta say, man, because you have actually done some phenomenal things, man. And the one thing that I remember, one thing I remember when I hear your name, man, is actually that you were a member of the iconic crew, Reagan era, man. For the listeners that don't actually know about this phenomenal group, can you actually tell us a bit more about Reagan era? And of course, how did you actually become a member of that group initially?
Well, the Reagan era situation came about through us all surviving that era of the Reagan era because that was a tumultuous time. It was very hard. It was like a lot of stress, a lot of poverty, a lot of pain, a lot of violence, a lot of killing, and we survived that era. And all of us shared the same experiences. Dios Legacy, Squirrels Dior, Halo the North Angel, me, Leslie Barnes, Diverse. So we're varying. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people didn't make it to this day. So that came about from that, and just us working together and hearing about each other, running into each other, you know, knowing the same people. And, you know, once your face card is good and your name is good and the vibes is positive, you know, people going to gravitate towards you. And that's how it happened, man. Divine intervention, man.
And I gotta say as well, man, that era alone, like just the Reagan era, man, it had so many obstacles for so many individuals, man, especially for hip hop, because so many hip hop artists were almost getting shut down, their lyrics censored. It was just a ridiculous time for the music industry.
Big time. Oh, absolutely, man. You know, freedom of speech is not so free. You know what I mean? You got to watch what you say at the end of the day, man. I mean, you can say what you want to say, but you will be held accountable for the words that come out of your mouth. Like certain countries, I was reading about, man, where you cannot speak ill about the government, politicians, anything. If you do, it's death, or they coming for you. You know, so out here in America, man, in Canada, we black.
And the one thing I have to ask before we move off the Reagan era, man, I have to ask, how did the Reagan era actually affect you as an artist? Because I do know that everybody had different experiences from those years. Like, how did that era actually affect you? Did the government ever try and censor yourself and your lyrics back in those days?
They never got that far with me. You know, actually, I was still a youngster around that time, so I was still soaking up everything, still observing, still watching, and just learning. You know, from Mixmaster Spade, you know, to King T, to Toddy T, to Easy E, to Wrecking Crew, like all of that was around me at that time because I grew up in a city known as Linwood, California. And Linwood, California is not that far from Los Angeles. And Los Angeles is the gateway to everything. You know what I mean? So I've seen a lot in my lifetime, and it's a blessing I've seen that, and it comes out, it exudes in my lyrical talents, man, and my expression of music.
And also, as well, man, in the year 2012, you actually had the opportunity to collaborate with the iconic Tweed Cadillac on his album, Who That? I was wondering, how did yourself and Tweet initially get connected? And of course, what was it like collaborating with him on that particular project? Because I do know you guys collaborated on a few other projects other than Who That as well.
Yeah, definitely. I reached out to him. I was living in Georgia at that time, and I was missing the West Coast, man. So, I was always in tune with what's going on the West Coast, and he's always been an instrumental part of whatever was going on, from DJ Quick to Second to None to High C to AMG. You know what I mean? To Mossberg. So it was only right for me to reach out to him, and he hollered back like a real player supposed to do when he recognized a real one. And we put it all together, man. And, the rest is history. I call him my uncle now, That's the relationship we have.
And I gotta say as well, man, you guys have such phenomenal chemistry, man, on the microphone together. I have to ask, like, do you guys have any future projects currently in the works?
You know what? Now that you're speaking on it, we definitely need to put that in motion, man. And I think myself, you, and him need to spearhead that, man. You know what I'm saying?
And I gotta say as well, man, like, I really hope you guys, because I gotta say, he is actually still putting in work. I think he just actually released 2 albums alone this year, man. So I really hope that you guys actually get back in the studio together, man, because I gotta say, it's most definitely long overdue.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That's going to happen. It's nothing, man. Just got to put it together. Time is always the enemy, Mortal. It's always the enemy. And procrastination will kill lucrative situations.
And also, as well, I actually read that after you actually met the director of 100.3 The Beat, you guys actually formed the group The Heat Rocks. I was wondering, can you tell us a bit more about The Heat Rocks? And of course, man, like, what was it like just being a part of that legendary group at that time?
Wow, that's a great question right there. The Heat Rocks is myself and my older brother. God rest his soul, rest in peace, man. The Conduit. And the way that came about was, I was just working on music, man. And he had gone through his trials and tribulations with music to where he didn't want to mess with it anymore. But he heard a particular composition that I was working on, and it pulled him into the room. And that's how. And after that, he started, putting his input. And it was like he never lost foot. He never lost a step. And from there, we just kept working and working, and we continued to work, man, until he moved to Canada. Actually, he lived in Canada, in Barrie, Canada, I think it is.
Okay, yeah, Barrie's actually down here in Ontario. I would say Barrie's about 5 hours away from our radio station. So I haven't been there myself, but I do know it's up in the Toronto region.
Yes, sir.
And also as well, because I do know you've been members of other phenomenal groups, but you also had the opportunity to work alongside Black C of the Bay Area legendary group RBL Posse. I was wondering, what was it like actually just working with Black C and having his input, and I'm sorry, him helping out with his input?
That was amazing. You know what I'm saying? It was like a dream come true because, when you look up to individuals of his stature, man, and his character, and you don't think that people like that you can reach them. Sometimes it seems like it's out of reach. Like Drake, Kanye, Jay-Z. These people are out of reach. They're not really that too far out of reach, man. It's a small circle. So I reached out to him once again through social media. I was on MySpace during that time, real heavy. And I was living in Georgia. And he responded back to me, which surprised me because, that doesn't happen too often. And once again, he saw something, he felt something. And he ended up coming out to Georgia, we met. And then, shoot, man, that's been my long way ever since. Got all praises to God, man. God is good. He puts situations in your life for a reason and people in your path for a reason.
And also as well, man, you are actually the current president of SRE Records. I was wondering, how did you actually become the president of that record label? And of course, who is currently signed to you guys today?
it's a fresh imprint. Currently, we don't have anybody signed. I signed myself. Because I wanted to explore other options that wouldn't interfere with the Jodies, because the Jodies is my primary family. You know what I mean? That's where everything pretty much marinates. You know what I mean? That's the headquarters. But SRE is like the hospital of the Jody, and that's steady repping every day. That's what that means. So people that I bring onto that, I want them to really work hard and really exemplify the meaning of hard work, lyrical ability. You know what I'm saying? A grinder. You know what I mean? They gotta have those qualities. If not, and I'm just gonna be on my own records. You know what I mean?
And also as well, I have to ask, because like, are you guys actually looking for new artists as well? Because I do know we do have some underground and definitely some independent unsigned artists that do listen to the radio station and of course the past interview broadcast. So if you guys are looking for music, how can these artists go about submitting music to your label? Because I do know some labels they like music submissions a certain way.
Man, submit the music, submit the MP3 with the title of the track, the artist, if it's clean or dirty, and any other pertinent information that you would want if you were sending something to an individual, and send that to Drodian Radio. That's DRODIAN radio at yahoo.com. Or if you want to hit me on Instagram, that's SNWEK, and that's Sneek_Rothstein, ROTHSTEIN. And we could take it from there. We could talk. Please be serious, because we get a lot of correspondence, we get a lot of calls, and we get a lot of bullshit. But for every bullshitter, there's a person that's committed, to really working hard and making it happen and doing what needs to be done to be successful.
And also, as well, aside from the music industry here momentarily, I know we're going back in the timeline here briefly, but I also read that in the year 1999, you actually enlisted within the military. I was wondering if you can actually tell us a bit more about that, and of course, what actually made you decide to join the U.S. Navy?
Joining the military was pretty much a last option for me. I wasn't going anywhere. I was stuck in the junior college system. I was amongst the same elements that I ain't gonna say held me back, but allowed me to hold myself back. And I wanted to do something different. You know what I mean? I was like, a lot of my family was in the military. The Army, the Marine Corps. So I said, let me give it a shot, man. What do I got to lose? And it ended up working out for the kids, man. Soon as I enlisted, man, I got the bonus, and I got to see Europe. Not Europe. I'm sorry. I got to see Japan, Korea, Australia, Thailand, and Singapore. And those imprints still stick out in my mind. From that decision that I made. Even though that's a serious, that's a life or death sentence. And I made it without a blink. I didn't really think too much about it, because it's like I wanted something different in my life. And when you want something different and you want to change, go for it. Don't be afraid, man. Take that chance, man.
And I gotta say, first and foremost, man, thank you so much. Because I know I'm down here in Canada, but at the end of the day, man, it's people like yourself that actually make the entire world, or at least North America at the most, a free land. So thank you so much for serving your country as well.
Yes, sir. Thank you, man. It was just a decision that had to be made, because a lot of people juggle, play with it, and at the end of the day, it's like you got to do what's best for you, man, and you got to make a sacrifice. Like I look at every day that I wake, that's inspiration. That's a song. You know what I mean? Life is a blessing in itself. You know what I mean? So you got to take it seriously, man. And you can hear it in my music. You can hear it in my voice, man. You can see it You can see it in my presence, man. You can check me. I'm all over the place. You know, we real, man. We you know, ain't no gangs over here, man. And we love the fans. We love the DJs, man. Shout out to you, bro. Shout out to DJ Immortal, man. And they need to stop sleeping on you, bro. That's some bullshit.
I gotta say, man, I definitely appreciate the love, man. I really do. But I'm hoping, you know, everything pops off soon. But I'm the type of guy, man, where a lot of people, they love controversy and they love hearing. It sounds bad to say music industry bullshit. Me personally, I like focusing on the positive narrative of the individual's career, man. So hopefully, you know, people want to start hearing some positive stuff soon, man.
Definitely, man. And I'm a fan now. You know, I'm glad that, you know, Mr. Graham brought this to my attention. So now I can tell it, bring it to the attention of everybody that I know, you know, my following and, you know, my team and my squad. So we can all come and make this thing bigger than it's big now. We need to make it gigantic. Like, everybody needs to know. From Amsterdam to Japan to China, everywhere. They need to know about this. It needs to be spread like this COVID shit. You feel me?
But also as well, man, September 14th of 2019, you were actually featured on Too Nasty's single featuring Lil Ratchet and Erg7 titled Mic Check. I was wondering if you can actually shed some light on this collaboration. And of course, what was it like just working alongside Ratchet, Nasty, and Erg?
You know what? That was an experience, man. Unfortunately, we didn't get to record it in the same place, but you can't tell because when you have chemistry with individuals and you're a seasoned artist, you know it sounds good. You know it works. You know what you need to do, and you know this is real to me. Like the first couple seconds I hear a record, I knew where I'm going to go. That's not to say I'm going to stay in that direction. When I heard that record from Too Nasty, who's a dream, that's Johnny fan, that's our brother. It was a no-brainer. Like, hell yeah, I'm getting on this. You know what I mean? And everybody else heard it. And you know, Ratchet, you know, he's a phenomenal. Everybody on there is dope. Ratchet, he's a special kind of dope. Like, he reminds me of like an anomaly, so to speak. You know what I mean? You might think that he's talking to himself, but nah, he has a lot going on, man. That's all right. You know, he was talking to Mariah Carey, and you know, he had a major deal and whatnot. And, you know, shit happens, man. But you know what? He's still here, and that's what counts. We got a banger. We got more coming too. We got more bangers coming, myself and him.
And also as well, man, you are actually part of the iconic hip-hop collective Drodian, man. I was wondering, what is the story behind that group? Because I know you have, like, the radio, you got the TV as well. Like, you guys are putting in work in every single aspect of the music industry. I was wondering if you can actually tell us a bit more about this phenomenal company. And, of course, who all is actually with you guys?
Well, the Drodians came about from a group, which was myself and Ari 2012, and we initially called ourselves Cali Joe, Calidro. And, you know, it sounded fly, and we're in California, we smoke a lot of weed, you know, we're exclusive to California, but universal to the world. We live in California, but we're exclusive to the world, so that name, it kind of like, it flowed, you know what I mean? So we ran with that, and one of our buddies, his name is Hijack. He actually coined it in a rap. So when he coined it in a rap, he didn't even know we had the group name. So I was like, yo, that shit really got a fucking case to it, bro. County Joe. There was two of us. So from two of us, others started to get involved. My younger brothers. So then it became three. And then Nick Fury from Atlanta. So that's four. And then, you know, numerous other people started coming to the phone. So like, it can't be Cali Drodian. So I just dropped the Cali and just stuck with the Drodian. Because I said that has a better feel to it. So from the Drodian, everything else started manifesting itself. Because we planted the seed, and, you know, we've been promoting the brand and you know, positivity, enlightenment. positivity and enlightenment. That's essentially what that is. You know what I mean? And from there, it's finding the nuance other endeavors. You know, the Jodian TV app came about. We've been working on a lot of sketch comedy. Of course, we're working on music. We're not going to stop. You know what I mean? But yeah, hopefully that answers your question. Now, I'm sorry if I dipped and dives a little bit, but you know what I mean. That's essentially the gist of that, kids.
But also as well, man, the reason why you slid on through to the Canadian airwaves is to actually promote this brand new 16-track album titled Menace. I was wondering, man, what is the story and inspiration behind this amazing album? And of course, man, where can we actually purchase ourselves a copy?
The story behind this album is my life. It's a true story, and it basically came about from a legal situation. I'm currently dealing with it now to this day, and that is the first word that came out the prosecutor's mouth in regards to a situation that I was involved in, and they were speaking about me. And I was labeled a threat to the environment, a danger to society, and a menace to the people. Man, he needs to be locked up. He needs to remand up the country. He does not need to be free. You know, this gentleman right here is dangerous. And that's what they labeled me as dangerous because of some actions that I did. Nothing crazy, but you know, sometimes you gotta show people who you are. You know, because you can keep it hidden for so long, but then when it's time for the werewolf to come out, then everybody starts running and hiding, and they scared, man. You know, so this Menace album, it came from a creative perspective, obviously, because I had to make the best out of that situation. It came from a lot of pain. It came from a lot of studying the greats of this West Coast hip hop, and it came from wanting to be heard, and it came from wanting to leave a legacy. You know what I mean? Everybody that I put on this record, they are thinkers in my past. You know what I mean? And that album and the title is so strong that you have the cover being stronger. But it's all expression. It's all art. A lot of billboards have shut me down. A lot of promotional avenues have shut me down because they said it promotes suicide. It promotes violence. No, it shows a man that was fed up. And he was up to here with the bullshit. And he was ready to, but I would never kill myself. But it's just hard, man. That's all.
But also, I have to ask, man, as well, like, do you guys have any hard copies available? Because I do know a lot of the listeners here on 97.7, you know, they're old heads. They love hard copies. So sometimes when I don't ask that question, sometimes they always be like, man, you should ask that. So I got to bring that up. Do you have any hard copies? And if so, how can our listeners go about snagging themselves a CD or a vinyl?
That's in the works at this time. You know, with this COVID bullshit going on, it's hard to really maneuver and meet with people, you know, because people are still scared. But that's definitely in the works. But for now, you can definitely snatch that thing up on every media platform available. It's out because I released it through the Great Empire distribution. Shout out to Gazi and the great city of San Francisco, and shout out to Black Sea for giving me an opportunity to have distribution on this magnitude. So if you Google Sneek Rothstein, it's all over the place. Menace, that's the album, iTunes, everywhere. You know, the Google Play Store, Spotify, Pandora. I'm everywhere. Everywhere you look, you want to see my album.
But I have to ask, man, what is next for yourself? And is there anything we happen to miss during this broadcast? Anything else you still want to talk about or promote? What we still got you here live on 97.7 FM this evening?
Man, shout out to everybody, man, listening right now. I want to shout y'all out. What's next right now is definitely I want to get a short film entitled Menace so you can get the visuals. I already have 2 videos out for this right here. And I put those on rumble.com. You can find a link on my Instagram page. But yeah, I want to turn this album into a movie and have the album be the soundtrack to the movie, because I just really have always been into cinema, always been into films, always been in different angles, different techniques. Because I've been doing music for so long, it's time to do something else. Music is always going to be fun to me, but that's the next step for me. And obviously, I want to discover other undiscovered talent and give them a shot, give them some shine, through the avenues that I have. Even though I'm not where I need to be, I probably can introduce you to somebody that can help you get to where you need to be. Because I've never been a selfish individual. I was raised with, two brothers, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's where we at with that. Shout out to my producer partner, man, in Sweden, 12-bit. I got an album with him, but that's coming out next year. So what I want to do is that more every year release an album, man. You don't want to put too much on the plate, because then, it's not going to get easy. I want to give you just enough food to fill your stomach, man, and then you're going to want some dessert, man. You know what I'm saying? You're going to want something else to top that off, man. So that's what we're going to do, man. Shout out to 12-bit. Oh, shout out to J23. I got some records with him out of San Diego, and the great Herminator, the platinum producer Herminator out of Sacramento. I got some records with him. So we're not stopping, man. If anybody want to work, man, you want to reach out, man. I gave you my info. DJ Immortal can get to me if he needs to, man. I'm open. I'm fair. So, let's make it happen. If it makes sense, man, let's make it happen.
And also, Sneek, this is the time in the interview quickly, man, that I give a chance for the individual that does slide into the radio station airwaves. Just like a chance to give, shout-outs to whomever they want to give shout-outs to. But if you can, drop them social media handles one more time. That way the listeners can pull out their phone and type it in as you say it and shoot you a follow, man. And that way they can stay updated on everything you got going on, past, present, and most definitely the future.
Definitely, man. So on Instagram, it's SNEEK_ROTHSTEIN. So that's Sneek_Rothstein. It's the same thing with Facebook. Same thing on Twitter. It's Drodians on Twitter. DRODIANS. Any other information you need, you can just Google my name and everything pops up. We made sure that we were Googleable. You know what I mean? That's that. You got to be Googleable. If people can't Google you, they can't find out who you are. You know what I mean? They might still can get some, figure out certain things, but you Google somebody everything. Like you said, I'll tell you whatever you want to know. That's perfect. You know what I'm saying?
And I gotta say, Sneek, first and foremost, man, thank you so much for just taking the time out of your busy evening and sliding into the Outlaw Radio FM airwaves, man. It definitely was an honor and most definitely a privilege, man. I'm definitely looking forward to hearing what comes from you in the future, man, because I gotta say, this Menace album is absolutely phenomenal, man. So I'm definitely looking forward to hearing the follow-up that comes next.
Man, you know that's coming, brother, man. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna take some time, but it's nothing, man. Writing is like walking. You know what I'm saying? Writing songs and doing music is like walking and talking. So, every day is inspiration. So, we definitely coming with some fire, and who knows? We may have some Canadian heat on there. You know what I'm saying? From some folks over there that want to collab with some of this fire over here. You know what I mean? And we got there just split splash, man, and go crazy with it, because it's a lane for everybody. Find your lane, man, and just work it. And that's what the Jordans have been doing. We ain't rich by any sorts, but we're not broke neither.
But I gotta say, first and foremost, man, thank you so much again for taking the time out of your busy evening, and I hope you definitely have a wonderful night out there on the West Coast, man, and definitely happy holidays to you and yours, man. Hopefully down the line we can make this happen again sometime soon.
Oh, man, definitely. You locked in, man. You know what I'm saying? You family, man. So, as soon as we touch down over there, man, we at you, brother. We coming to see you in the flesh. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, thank you, brother. And salute to everybody out there in Canada, man. rock with this Jordan cat right here, man. You won't be disappointed, man. You know what I mean? Rock with us. We here, man. Real hip hop is still alive, man. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, I definitely agree on that one, man. I really do. But also, Sneak, again, thank you so much, man, and I'm definitely looking forward to doing this again sometime soon.
Most definitely, man. For sure, brother. Have a blessed night, man. I love y'all.